2, 3. 4, 2.
So I guess I didn't have any sound the first time. People complain about my sound, so I was using a microphone. So I'm done. I'm back to not using a microphone. Anyway, let's start off with a best example of what goes around comes around that I've seen in a very long time. You reap what you sow, whatever saying you want to use. Minneapolis Democrat Vice Chairwoman Shiva, a name I can't pronounce, was brutally attacked yesterday. And she's one of the ones that advocated for defunding police in Minnesota. And she's now a victim of her own policies. So this was her post yesterday. Yesterday, my children and I were violently carjacked in a driveway in our home in Minneapolis. 4 very young men, all carrying guns, beat me violently down to the ground in front of our kids. The young men held our neighbors up at gunpoint when they ran over and tried to help me, all in broad daylight. So let's show the post. And she advocated for defunding the police after George Floyd. And so this is her post here. She talks about dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department. We need to listen and learn, amplify the message, call on our elected officials, radical leadership, all these words, outlining immediate changes for the MPD and framework of systemic change. So she is asking to dismantle the police, and then she gets brutally attacked in front of her children, mind you, in broad daylight. Now, I hate anything to happen to anyone, but yeah, you get what you ask for. So speaking of crime, let's talk about California law. There's a new bill that's been proposed, Bill 553, which is called the Workplace Violence Bill. And what it's doing is essentially destroying small business now. So it's making it illegal to confront or fight back against looters, burglars, or shoplifters. You could be fined up to $18,000 or $20,000 if you attempt to stop these crimes. It puts every business at the mercy of criminals. Now, we know that California has made it where basically you get a ticket and you get out of jail. You don't even have to pay. It's no bail. You get out, right? So it's insanity that they would do this. But I have a bigger reason why I think this is going on, and I'll allude to in a minute. But so now you can essentially rob and steal with no recourse. Even if you're caught committing a 6-figure heist, we've seen them, busting down Louis Vuitton, taking, hundreds of thousands of dollars a bag, Gucci, all these sort of high-end stores, and they're robbing them blind. But if you try to save your livelihood and protect yourself or your business, you'll be fined for it, right? And a lot of these small business owners, they've invested everything they own. They've taken out loans. They essentially going bankrupt. And you ask why? It's because, let's go back to the pandemic. Why was it okay for Amazon, Walmart, all the big corporations to stay open? However, the little guys, small business, had to close their business up, get past due on rent, can't pay employees, can't pay their own bills, not making any money, can't pay for the inventory, if let's say they're getting consignment, whatever it is. So, but Amazon, Walmart, all these guys can still sell. They're essential people, right? The grocery store. I mean, big corporations can still make money. They can still operate. This is a bill, in my opinion, to continue destroying small business, because it's been since 2020 they've been trying to do it. So they're continuing to try to destroy small business, and this is something undertaken by the Democrats. And you may ask why? Because it's freedom. It's freedom. They want to destroy people's freedom, because the more ungovernable you are, you don't have to work somewhere. You don't have to take the hokey pokey to keep your job. You can say, no, I'm not doing that because I own my own company. These sort of things. And the other bigger part of this is you're the biggest competition to the corporations. And people, when they hear that, they're like, no, how can mom and pop store down the street, mom and pop bait shop be the biggest competition, because there's hundreds of thousands, millions of them across the country, and people are very loyal to small business. So big corporations want to take you out, believe it or not. And I learned this in college. I was actually blown away by it. I couldn't believe it. But the big corporations own the politicians. We know that. They line their pockets and they control the politicians. They're their puppets. So of course they're going to do everything they can, pass bills to help destroy small business. They're owned by these mega corporations. So let's get into the main topic of tonight. You're going to be pretty surprised about is that, if you recall, a few weeks ago, I did a video about a mysterious company that bought a bunch of land near Travis Air Force Base. And when I say bunch, I mean $800 million of farmland. And it turns out they tried to find out who it was because the Chinese had just bought farmland in North Dakota next to a military base. So people are trying to investigate who are these people. And it turned out to be something called Flannery and Associates. And it was a small P.O. box at a strip mall and some fake name. So nobody knew who it was, what it was for. Well, should you be alarmed that the cat's out of the bag now, and that is Silicon Valley tech tyrants, they might just be building a 15-minute city next to a military installation in California. Yeah, legitimate 15-minute city. And you may say, what's a 15-minute city? Go look at communist China. They built 15-minute cities. And so essentially it is this a prison, an encampment. You're placed in this small city. You work, live. There's no transportation. You walk. Everything's within 15 minutes. Yeah, they're doing that. And so it's comprised of some of the who's in the billionaires from Silicon Valley. And if you Google their names, you're going to see that all of them are mega donors to the Democratic Party, major mega donors, and they're involved in all the usual suspects: Goldman Sachs, artificial intelligence, you name it, the creep of creeps. So the company's pitch is that they're going to take a brown hill split by 2-lane road between farms and suburbs and turn it into a city with tens of thousands of residents, tens of thousands, clean energy, public transportation, and dense urban life. Dense urban life stacked on top of one another. So these deep-pocketed investors plan to turn the land into their vision of the ideal city, featuring sustainable energy and pedestrian-friendly layout, mostly walking, solar panels, you name it. Okay. And let's take a look at the website. They actually just released the website. Starting a conversation about Eastern Solano County, good paying local jobs, solar farms, and open space. Yeah. Last month, 81% of Solano parents were surveyed said that their kids won't be able to find a future in their own neighborhood when they grow up. Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty freaking standard. They wasn't going to find a future in the neighborhood I grew up in either, unless you wanted to work at freaking, picking peaches. I mean, that was about it, which I did in high school, by the way. Anyway, so just, I mean, they try to make all this artwork here like it's going to be beautiful, but what it really is just like communist China. Solar farms, you're going to see nothing but solar panels out there, dense urban life, so stacked all over the top of each other. And they also talk a lot about Travis Air Force Base, so they're there to support them. And the thing I do find interesting is that they have a plan about Travis Air Force Base, saying that they're going to protect them, they're going to support them, they're going to offer military families to live there, right? This also falls into the video that I did the other day where I talked about the C40, the different cities where there's 12 cities in the United States have signed up for by 2030 to eliminate cars, eliminate dairy and meat, eliminate buying clothes, transportation, these sort of things. So this is a massive push with a lot of people involved. And so, me personally, I think these guys right here are trying to be the pioneers of it. And what we're going to see is these things starting to pop up all over the US. So, I guess they still have some barriers within the local government there. They have to get them to sign off. Obviously, they'll pad their pockets. It's fine. They don't have to, you know, probably don't have to give them too much money. What did the guy say on James O'Keefe, that interview? You can give $10,000 to a local senator and he'll sign off on pretty much anything you want. So, but yeah, I mean, they make it look like it's a gorgeous place, right? It won't look like this. It won't look like this. But the website's californiaforever.com. I don't think I want anything to do with California and being forever. Not in the same sentence. No, nothing to do with that. But I think you should go out there, go to this website, get the names, and just start Googling them. You're going to see Goldman Sachs. You're going to see these various other big names. But again, this is taking place around the globe, guys, and it's something that I think every one of us is going to have to battle against. We have these massively wealthy individuals that stated their intent on creating a quote unquote sustainable living environment and push these mega cities all around the globe. We have it already happening within 12 cities: Austin, Texas, New York City. I can't remember the other ones, but you can look at my video from another day. And so we had the cabal of the Silicon Valley tech gods. They want to spend billions of dollars to build this 15-minute city, communist encampment that just so happens to be right beside a very strategic military base. And again, the Chinese just bought 300 acres right beside a base in North Dakota. So I think we're going to see a rise in these 15-minute cities. It's going to happen. And it's to keep you enslaved. I mean, why did the Chinese do it? To make it easier to control. You don't really leave the area. You know, do you think the tech billionaires are going to be living in the 15 minutes? No, man. They're going to be got a place in Sweden or a place in Colorado, a place in Florida. They're going to be all over the place. But the peasants, we need to keep them in, and dress it up, make it look pretty, put the trees, have the kids out there fishing, have a couple diners in there, outdoor patio seating and some coffee shops. But you're in a freaking slave encampment, right? Because they're going to provide jobs there too. What kind of jobs do you think you're going to be built? You're probably going to be building microchips or something. The semiconductors that we're trying to spearhead to get out of Taiwan before China goes and invades it and takes over. So yeah, I think we're there. It's happening, and so many people are involved. But it's not only happening in America. That's the other thing. Like, people keep saying, "What we need to do?" Man, this junk's happening everywhere. This is a global movement. This is what's happening with it is the puppets. This is a global movement. We have Bilderberg. I've uncovered this. Bilderberg's freaking World Economic Forum. These are the guys that are controlling the billionaires, the non-elected billionaires, the global elite. They want a global totalitarian government. And they're going to put the pawns into play where they need to, whether that's war, whether that's disease, famine, climate, whatever. This climate change, they're out there seeding clouds and changing weather patterns on their own, right? That's not a theory. That actually is things they do. I mean, I've seen tons of documentaries on it. So, but they'll say, "Oh, it's just happening because or exhaust or whatever." It's ridiculous. Before I forget, I want to tell you guys, obviously, with the impending World War III that's going to be happening soon, because it's not if, but when. I want to let you guys recall. I want to remind you guys about getting a gas mask. This is the MIRA, right? We've talked about Parcel many times. I would like to give MIRA its due diligence in describing it. This is the CM7M, I think. I'll put the link below, but you see the cutouts here, the recessed eyes here. I'm going to show why that's for. This is the drink straw. So this drink straw comes out here. No, it's here. Drink straw comes out here, has an inner drink tube inside. Right? It comes with a canteen. This plugs inside so you can drink. A lot of people, they don't think about that. You're going to have to drink water at some point in time when you're, in a situation like this. You need water every day, right? Mesh back, very comfortable, right? Good filter, MIRA, very high quality mask. All right. But the big thing about this is whenever you get a mask like this, when you're running optics or you're running night vision goggles, like on my helmet here, this allows you the ability, I got them so close together. But this allows you the ability to see through the nods, right? If you get them on, you can adjust them, right? Me trying to, so yeah. So you can run nods pretty much like this, right? And so you need that to be able to run nods, or if you're running an optic, especially a magnified optic, that's something you want. So anyway, I've got a discount code. I'll put the link below. And again, we always have partial safety too, which is 25% off discount. But we have a 10% discount with MIRA. But again, it's a high quality mask, and I'm really impressed by it, and very, very comfortable. So, and it comes with the canteen kit as well. So I'll put the link below. With the impending apocalypse, you may need it. Anyway, guys, see you on the battlefield. Stay frosty, stay strapped, stay dangerous. Take care. Before I go, sorry. Joe, thank you. Let me shout out these guys. Mr. Soundstar, thanks. Substance, thanks. Substance, thanks again. Yeah, sorry about the mic issue. Mike, you, thanks, guys. And Pacello, thanks. See you on the battlefield. Take care.